2024 has been a cracking year for tennis fans so far. Reebok brought back its classic court victory pump sneakers, Zendaya got stuck into a saucy bit of mixed doubles on the big screen in challenges, and now one of the greatest tennis video game series has returned after a 13-year-long hiatus. TopSpin 2K25 delivers an on-court experience that's every bit as smooth and snappy as it was 2 console generations ago, and it features licensed superstars and stadiums that now more closely resemble the real thing. It's a slight shame then that some convoluted career progression systems and the inclusion of virtual currency hold TopSpin 2K25 back from being an outright winner. Developer Hangar 13 is best known for making Mafia games, but here the team has gone from whacking mobs to smacking lobs without missing a beat. TopSpin 2K25 feels genuinely terrific to play, and there's a supremely well-balanced sense of risk versus reward that comes with performing charged-up shots and serves. It feels fist-pumpingly fantastic to nail the timing on a powerful flat stroke that blasts triumphantly down the tram lines, and conversely quite crushing when you greedily overcook it and the ball abruptly smacks into the top of the tape. My Career really is the centre court centerpiece of TopSpin 2K25, and it's a pretty meaty mode. During each month of the tour, you get the option to play target-seeking training games, special challenge events, and proper ATP tennis tournaments, all while keeping track of your player's energy level, which starts at 100% and slowly depletes with each match you play. I had to carefully schedule rest months into the calendar in order to recharge, since every time my player's energy dropped too low, it inevitably resulted in injury that put me out of action for extended periods. Energy management isn't the only thing you need to stay on top of during My Career though. There's a leveling system that doles out attribute points to help shape your player's strengths, whether you favour slinky serve and volleying or if you're more of a burly baseline brawler, a status system that gives you lists of objectives to tick off in order to progress from unknown to legend and unlock new tournaments or challenges, as well as global player rankings both overall and for the year to date. Hiring a coach brings its own set of unique goals too, creating enjoyable games within games that had me hitting a certain number of inside-out backhand winners during matches to unlock special attribute boosts, for example. However, like a debutante pair of doubles partners, these various progression systems occasionally step on each other's toes.
Love 50.
Midway through the second year of My Career, I had managed to crack the top 10 in the world rankings, but I was still ineligible to enter any of the major Grand Slam tournaments because I hadn't yet fulfilled all of the requirements to elevate my status to the requisite star level. Instead, I had to go off and grind through a number of lesser TS250 competitions, which made me feel like I was arbitrarily spinning my wheels against fictional nobodies, when I should have been going head-to-head with the likes of Daniil Medvedev and Taylor Fritz. Even when I was finally able to compete in prestigious tournaments like the US Open and the year-ending ATP Finals, it did become a little repetitive to constantly come up against the same small group of licensed players. There are some great inclusions here like Carlos Alcaraz and Coco Gauff, but also a number of notable absences. Women's world number 1 Iga Swiatek is present, but top man Novak Djokovic is nowhere to be found. Still, at least it means we get to enjoy several calendar years of tennis where Djokovic isn't actually able to win everything. Eventually, some tennis legends are injected into the career mix in special star events, although the quality of their likenesses is a little inconsistent. Early 90s Andre Agassi looks magnificent in all his mullet-haired glory, but Pistol Pete Sampras looks like a leftover character model that Hangar 13 copied and pasted from Mafia 3. The considerable list of licensed stadiums all look fairly true to life, however, and there are some nice little animations to add some personality in between points, like the way players will occasionally collapse onto their backsides after a particularly grueling rally.
Game, McEnroe, 1 game all.
That said, there are also some noticeable rough edges to the presentation, particularly in the way there's little to distinguish one tournament win from another. You're awarded the exact same trophy in the exact same ceremony whether you've just won a smaller satellite event or one of the majors. Here's me winning the Australian Open. Now here's me winning the French Open. Now here's me winning... Actually, I don't even know which tournament this is. Virtual currency was probably still just an idea jotted down in a 2K executive's dream journal when TopSpin 4 was released in 2011, but it's since become the default currency for in-game transactions across 2K's stable of sports games, and it rears its ugly head here in TopSpin 2K25 as well. Every tournament and special event you win awards a modest amount of VC, which in turn is used for everything from buying new clothing and rackets, to hiring support staff, to even acquiring houses around the globe to help reduce travel fatigue. After 15 hours invested in my career, I'm reasonably flush with the stuff and haven't once contemplated spending actual money on packs of VC, but then again I tend to dress my created player as though they've just lost a bet in the locker room. If you're a more fashion-conscious tennis player, and you're not content to style your avatar in the occasional off-brand shorts and skirts you can earn purely by playing tournaments, then your mileage may vary. What does slightly irritate me about the use of VC though, is that it's resulted in a warped in-game economy where it's somehow cheaper to buy a house in New York than it is to buy a new tennis racket. Don't make sense. Hey, you said it, licensed menu music. The prize money you're awarded from a Grand Slam tournament is also not even remotely similar in scale to real life. Winning the Wimbledon final should net you millions of dollars, but in TopSpin 2K25, I pocketed a measly 194 VC. Just barely enough to buy a pair of Wilson branded socks, or a little more than half a pair of Nike branded track pants. It's all a bit silly, really. A virtual currency that you can buy with real dollars that doesn't make any actual sense. I'm willing to look past the questionable virtual currency nonsense, however, because the action out on court is of such a high standard. I'm only 2/3 of the way towards reaching the level 30 cap for my created player, and there are still plenty of courts to unlock and objectives to tick off as I enter my 7th year on the tour. Beyond that, I'm also keen to get stuck into the online tournaments once the servers become more populated, and there's also a Battle Pass style reward system that could well keep me on the hook for several more months to come. Even its licensed player shortcomings could be remedied in due course, with further professionals already promised to be added in the future at no extra cost.
Game Williams.
TopSpin 2K25's chunky career mode may occasionally be marred by periods of grind amidst its Grand Slams. Its licensed player roster is a little slight compared to its impressive stable of stadiums, and its implementation of virtual currency attributes bafflingly unrealistic values to goods and services, as though they were appraised by a kindergartner with no understanding of money. In spite of these drawbacks though, TopSpin 2K25 is an absolute blast on court, and one that I'm struggling to put down. Claiming this is the best tennis simulation since TopSpin 4 may be a bit of a backhanded compliment, since there haven't exactly been any other genuine serve and volley contenders released in recent years, but there's little doubt that despite its rough edges, this is still the most enjoyable way to get a realistic rally going in your own home, without building an actual court in your backyard.
Love 40.
For more IGN reviews, check out our verdicts on Tales of Kenzera Zhao and Harold Halibut. And for everything else, stick with IGN.